Hello, brave taxpayers and financial warriors. I'm Maxwell Taxman, your beacon in the foggy seas of tax confusion. Are you tangled up in a mess with the IRS? Friends, family, employees, subcontractors? Anyone who's feeling the heat? Listen up. I'm here to arm you with some secret weapons for battling those tax troubles. It's time to flip the script on back taxes and overdue returns. Let's dodge those nasty IRS penalties and stop them from raiding your hard-earned cash and bank accounts. Together, we'll navigate this maze and come out the other side, ready for a new beginning. No more feeling cornered by the IRS. Let's show them what we're made of. The government's running a tighter ship than ever, with those record deficits piling up. And what about those 87,000 new IRS employees? So, guess what? They're hungrier than a bear in spring for every last dime in back taxes and IRS penalties. If you're in the hot seat owing the IRS, brace yourself. I've got 7 hush-hush tips up my sleeve, secrets the IRS wishes I wouldn't spill. But I'm laying them all out for you. Time to turn the tables. The IRS, believe it or not, has a whopping 148 different penalties they can smack you with. And here's the kicker. They can pile on more interest and extra fines on top of the original penalty. Sometimes, these penalties balloon to such a huge chunk of what you owe. It's smarter to play the reduced to zero card with the IRS before you fork over any cash. But hey, even if you've already paid, why not swing for the fences and ask for a penalty abatement and a refund? Now, let's talk about getting those IRS penalties knocked down to zilch. The magic words, reasonable cause. And what counts as reasonable cause? In my battleground of negotiations with the IRS, it's a wide open field, as long as it's believable. We've seen penalties dropped for all sorts of reasons: health woes, bungling accountants, not knowing the tax laws, issues with ex-spouses, caring for a loved one, sudden military duties, natural disasters like fires and floods, struggles with alcohol or drugs, dealing with a death, and even for taking the IRS's own advice. So, let's roll up our sleeves and show the IRS what reasonable cause really looks like. You may not believe this, but a lot of folks are in the dark about the IRS slapping a hefty 25% penalty on you for just being late with your tax return. Yep, you heard that right. A staggering 25% extra on what you owe if you miss the deadline for filing your individual payroll or business tax returns. I've seen too many people get walloped, losing thousands in penalties, all because they didn't know this one crucial fact. So here's the deal. No matter what circus your life is turning into, always file your tax returns on time. Even if your pockets are empty and you can't pay what you owe right then, just get that return in. Trust me, your wallet will thank you later. Knowing your rights as a taxpayer is like having a secret weapon in your arsenal when facing the IRS Goliath. Instead of feeling like a tiny David against the towering threats of back taxes and IRS penalties, arm yourself with knowledge, or better yet, team up with a battle-tested tax accountant, attorney, or certified tax resolution specialist. They're your guides in the maze of options for permanently putting your tax troubles to bed. We get it. IRS problems can make your life a roller coaster of fear and anxiety. Our mission? To snatch that fear away. We know the IRS playbook inside and out, and we're here to fight for those who feel cornered and hopeless against them. Our goal is simple: negotiate the lowest IRS payment amount the law allows. You wouldn't believe it, but our average client comes to us with 4 to 11 years of unfiled tax returns. Sounds scary, but trust me, it's fixable. We firmly believe there's a key to every lock. We've been the lifeline for many taxpayers, steering them away from financial ruin and back towards peaceful nights, dreams of home ownership, retirement plans, and a brighter future for their kids. So, if you're in hot water with the IRS, don't wait. For your sake, and for those you care about, reach out for help today. Let's turn your IRS nightmare into a victory story. Guess what? You don't have to face an IRS officer all by your lonesome. In fact, going toe-to-toe with a revenue officer could be a huge misstep. Thanks to the Taxpayer's Bill of Rights, you've got the power to bring in a qualified pro to do the talking and paperwork for you. Many folks try to tackle their IRS dragons alone or ask their tax preparer to step into the arena. Here's the catch. Most tax preparers aren't in the business of jousting with the IRS every day. The IRS can smell that inexperience a mile away, and, more often than not, it leads to outcomes you'd rather not think about. Either a bad deal or no deal at all. So, why take the risk? Get yourself a seasoned gladiator who knows the IRS's every move. That's how you level the playing field. Think you're the underdog in an IRS audit showdown? Think again. You've got what it takes to beat the odds. With the right know-how and a bit of grit, you can stand tall and come out on top. Don't just roll over. It's your game to win. In the tax audit arena, the IRS seems to hold the championship belt, winning a staggering 80% of bouts. It's like stepping into a ring where you're pinned down as guilty until proven innocent. They come out swinging, knocking down every deduction you claimed until you prove they're legit. If you find yourself in the crosshairs of an audit, remember, don't let the IRS bully you into submission. And here's a heads up. If you skip filing your taxes, the IRS might just step in and do it for you. Trust me, you won't like their version, so stand firm and fight smart. Here's a little-known fact that might just be your ace in the hole. The IRS can't chase you forever for back tax debt. That's right, there's a statute of limitations in play. So, if you're feeling like you're running an endless marathon with the IRS on your heels, remember, even they have a finish line. All right, let's dive a bit deeper into this game changer. The IRS isn't some eternal boogeyman when it comes to back taxes. Believe it or not, they've got a time limit, a countdown clock, the statute of limitations. This is the secret weapon many don't know they have. Typically, the IRS has a 10-year window to collect on your back taxes. Once that decade ticks by, they're supposed to back off. It's like being in a 10-year race against the IRS. If you can stay on the track, keep your wits about you, and navigate the twists and turns, there's a chance you could cross the finish line with those back taxes disappearing in your rearview mirror. Of course, there are some caveats, and the clock can pause or reset based on various actions you take, like filing for an extension or negotiating an offer in compromise. But the bottom line is, the IRS isn't always the relentless pursuer it's made out to be. There's an end to their chase, and knowing that gives you a strategic edge. Here's a surprising twist in the tax saga. The IRS actually does make deals on back taxes, including penalties and interest. The road to such a deal is narrow and the rules are strict, but if you fit the bill, the payoff can be huge. Think about it like this. If you're sitting on a tax bill of at least $20,000 and your assets are more air than substance, you might just be in the running. The key? Your monthly income should be mostly tied up in essential living expenses, leaving little to nothing for those old tax debts. The IRS isn't just throwing you a lifeline for fun. They've got an angle. These deals are their way of nudging you back into the system as a current taxpayer, while also recouping a bit on what you owe from the past. But beware, there's fine print. You need to file your taxes punctually for the next 5 years after striking a deal. Slip up, and the IRS can pull the rug out from under you, hitting you with the full original amount. So, if you play your cards right and stick to the rules, you could turn a mountain of tax debt into a manageable molehill. Remember, I'm here to help you navigate these tricky waters. With the right knowledge and approach, you can handle your tax issues without harming your credit. I'm Maxwell Taxman, your ally in dealing with the IRS. Feel free to reach out for guidance and support. Together, we'll make sure you're treated fairly and confidentially. And there you have it, folks. Another step forward in our quest to conquer tax challenges. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. If you're feeling overwhelmed or just need a friendly expert to guide you, the Tax Solution Network is here for you. Don't hesitate to reach out. Connect with our live advisors through our free chat service. We're ready to offer personalized, real-time assistance to navigate any tax issue. Just visit our website, click on the chat icon, and start your conversation with a trusted tax expert today. It's completely free, and it's the first step towards peace of mind.